Hello guys, and good evening, and welcome back to the second day of JavaScript Zero to Hero course. And yesterday we just came to know about little bit about JavaScript, and we just used little bit of JavaScript. But in today's session, we are going to do really cool stuff with JavaScript, like what are the power of JavaScript. And I have a curriculum here that what we need to cover today, and we will try to cover all of these things. Okay, so just do let me know in the chat if you are excited for today's session. And let me just give you a small recap. So here we have a very basic HTML document, as you can see. And in this line, like here in this tag, I have just tried to join my JavaScript file. So here we have a JavaScript file to our HTML page, like we used to do for the CSS. Same for JavaScript. Okay. In the case of CSS, we use link tag, but here we are going to use the script tag. Okay. So let me just open my Epic pen for that pen purpose. Okay. And if you're wondering why we are using this script tag at the end of the body, because JavaScript is little bit time consuming to load. So that's why we keep this thing at the bottom of our HTML, so that our whole HTML will get load, and after that our JavaScript file get load. That's why. Okay. So in the chat, just say yes. Should we start? Okay, so let's start our session. So now, as I told you earlier, you could just do console.log, and you can type anything here, and it will get output in this thing. Okay, here in the console panel. And how to open this console panel? It's very easy to do. Just click right click, and you will find a inspect thing here. Just click over it, and you will get this console here. Right now I'm using Firefox browser. You can use any browser of your liking. Personally, I like the console panel of the Firefox. That's why I am using this. And you could have used any browser of your liking. You could have gone with Chrome or Edge or like Opera if you are into these kind of things. Okay. So here we are getting an output of hello world. Okay. So it was so easy. So just by this single line of code, we got this output. Okay. And yesterday we also came to know about something called variables. So we used to do like var and some name of a variable like day, and which is equals to 2. So here we had made a variable which is name of that variable is day, and its value is 2. Now we can use this day variable instead of this value 2. Okay, that's all. And also we used that if and else statements. So whenever you want to perform a particular part of code, when a condition is fulfilled, so if I type if, okay, if day is greater than, okay, if day is greater than 1, you can perform some kind of code here. You can type anything here like console log or any other JavaScript code. Okay. And if this condition is false, if the day is equals to 4, so 4 is greater than 1. In that case, if you want to perform something else, it's very easy to do. Just type else here and type that code here. Okay. So for now, I'm typing console.log. It's day 1. Okay. If the day is lesser than 1, so I'm just logging out, it's day 1. And in other case, I'm logging out console.log, it's more than 1. Okay. Okay, sorry, it's more than 1. Okay. And here, as we can see, we are getting an output of it's day 1. Okay. And sorry, I think I forgot to read it. Okay. And I think because this 4 value is greater than 1. Okay, don't go with these statements. I think I mistyped them. Okay, so now I just want to tell you that we can modify and we can access the thing here in our HTML document. We can access these things and we can modify these things by using JavaScript. Okay, bear with me, I will tell you how to do this. Okay, and anyways, it's very easy to do. It's same as CSS, but with some more powers. So let me just create a h1 tag here. Okay, h1 tag, and let me just type my name here. Okay, so here we are getting an output of, okay, Sanjay here. Now we can give ID to this tag. Obviously we can give an ID. So I am just giving this h1 tag ID of name. It's very basic, simple HTML. Okay. Now we can grab this thing. We can grab this thing in our JavaScript and we can change it. So let me just show you how to do that. Go to your JavaScript file, clear out everything, and type document dot get element by ID. Okay. So this is the code. Basically, this is the code by which we can grab something from our HTML page. So only you have to do is to type the name ID of the particular tag that you want to grab. So I'm going to type here name. So by this line of code, I am grabbing this h1 tag here. Okay. And now we have to store this, because if you want to change this, like in this case, I want to modify, I want to change the content inside this h1. So I have to somehow store this thing, because by this line of code, like document dot get element by ID, and inside this parenthesis, we are writing the name of that ID of that tag that we want to grab. We have to store this thing somewhere. And what we have, like we have something to store each and everything, and those were variables. So I'm just going to create a variable name equals to, okay, name equals to document dot get element by ID, and here I have written name. Okay. So now by using this variable, this particular variable, I can modify that tag. Okay. Let me just show you an example. I can change the content of this thing. I can change the content. So right now we are getting Sanjay here. Okay. So let me just show you. If I type, okay, only you have to do name dot text content. Okay. And equals to, and you can make it anything. So now I'm typing here hello world. Okay. And as soon as I will save, see what is going to happen. As soon as I save, as you can see, the content of that particular h1 tag is changed. So by this, we can make dynamic web pages. You can change the content of that page throughout the process. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I just forgot to share my screen. No worries. By luck, I haven't done a lot of stuff. Okay, and here I have my screen. Sorry guys, I just forgot to share my screen. Okay, don't worry. Nothing has happened. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a quick recap. Don't worry. Do let me know in the chat like if my screen is visible. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I think now my screen is visible. Okay. So let's start again. No worries, we didn't miss a lot. Okay. So here I've created a very simple h1 tag. As you can see, I have created a very simple h1 tag where I have given an ID of name. As you can see, okay, that's the only thing I have done. And previously, as I told you, we have a simple HTML web page. So here we have a simple HTML web page. Okay. And in this line of code, in this particular line, all I have done is I've connected my JavaScript file, a separate file, to our HTML file, like we used to do for the CSS. That's all. So, and here I have created let me do this part again. Okay, let me do this part. Okay. Yes, I am restarting. Don't worry. Okay, let's start. Let's start. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, so here we have grabbed our HTML page and sorry, here we have our HTML page and we have grabbed our JavaScript file to our HTML page. Now, yesterday we just created some variables. So now again, I'm going to create a variable. So where age equals to 20. Okay. Now I can use this variable instead of this value. Okay. So if I want to console log this thing, just for now, I just want to console log this. So console.log, either I can type 20 and we will get the output 20 in the console panel. So if I open inspect element, so and if I go over here, you will see I'm getting output of 20. And again, it's a console panel and it's very easy to open. All you have to do is click open any browser of your liking and just press F12 and this panel will be welcome to you. Okay. So here we have a 20 in the output. So this was the variable And we could also use conditional statements we did yesterday. So you could have just typed if, and inside this bracket you can type any condition. Like for example, I could have typed if age is greater than 18. Okay, if age is greater than 18, like this particular thing, this variable, if this variable is greater than 18, you can perform some part of code. Okay, all you have to do is to use these curly braces, and you can type any code, and this particular code will only get executed if this condition is true. Okay, so this thing is called operator. Okay, so let's just console.log you are old enough to vote, and I'm just going to type else here. If this condition is false, I can perform this line of code. Okay, you're not enough to old enough to vote. And in a particular case, either this part of the code is going to be executed or this part of the code is going to be executed, because as you can see, it's a very basic English statement, if or else. So that's why. So this was the thing that we completed yesterday, and now we are going to do a lot of cool stuff again. I have done this earlier. Okay, so let me just clear out everything. And now we can grab the things from our HTML page. Okay, so suppose I want to change the content of this. Okay, so this h1 tag, let's suppose change me. So I'm getting an out. So here we have a h1 tag, and change me is written inside of it, and I want to change this thing. Okay, depending on some condition, I want to change that particular code. So all we have to do is to grab this HTML tag in our JavaScript, and we have a line for that, and that line is document dot get element by id, and inside this bracket you have to just type the name of that id. Basically just type that this particular id. Okay, and as you know, it's a HTML page, and in HTML text we can give some ids. An id should be unique, so change me. Okay, so here I have given an id of change here, and all we have to type this change here also, change. Okay, so by this line of code we have grabbed that particular h1 tag. Okay, by this particular line of code. And don't worry if you're feeling like, oh my god, we have so many things to remember. Don't worry, these things are so easy to understand. I'm for now just try to remember this line of code, but each and every line have a basically very deep meaning behind it. But for now, as of now, this line will work for us. And if you want to know more about these things, you can anytime go to our website like letsupgrade.com, and you can join our full stack course, and where we try to cover each and every topic in very deep. Okay, and also uh, we try to make you understand very basics to very advanced. So that's it. So by now, for now, this is enough for us. So here we have grabbed that particular h1 tag. So by this line of code, we have successfully grabbed this line of code. Now we have to save this. Basically, we have to save this tag somewhere, and to save we have variables. So let me just give an example. So like an html, I'm just creating an variable html, oh sorry, html element, and by I have created a variable html element, and now in front of it I am writing this line of code. Now by using this variable, I can modify that particular h1 tag just by using this variable. Let me give you an example. So for that example, let me just keep this thing side by side. So here it is written change me. Okay, now we can change this thing. Why we are getting this change me here? Because we have change me written inside here. We can change this by just typing html element dot text content equals to okay, and as soon as I will change it, save the file, this thing is gonna change. Okay, so as soon as I save, and as you can see, the content of that particular tag is changed. So we can also change the styling of this thing. So html element dot style, and just make a equal sign, and now here you can type the basically styling. It's the css styling, and I will explain this part a little bit more. Okay, so as you can see, we are grabbing the html text, and we are changing, modify the content, and we are modifying the styles also. And it's very much possible to add animations and user interactivity and lot of things. before doing that, we have to understand some more fundamental concepts so that we can make our project easily. Okay, so just do let me know in the chat if you understood this part of code, and don't worry if it's so difficult for us for you. Share the screen, sir. I have shared my screen, I think. Okay. Hmm. Can we take the class? Yes, yeah, Bhavna, I have shared my screen. Just give it a time. You will okay. Just wait for a while. And okay. Grid short from VS Code. What is this? Get shorts from VS Code? Oh, okay. For the attendance link, you will get the attendance link. Don't worry. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay, moving on. And now we can, I'm just going to make you understand some more basic things, okay? And these things are common in every programming language. So if you're coming from any other programming language, it's easier for you to understand these, okay? So we have covered variables, and now and also we have covered the conditional statements, that if and else part. So and we have just made a very basic, we have just basically changed the content of this line. Okay, now we are going to merge these three things. Okay, so we have learned three things, and we are going to try to mix these three things, and we will make something fun. Okay, so okay, for now, let me just clear out everything here. Okay, so this h1 tag have nothing inside of it. Now I'm going to take the input from the user. So like what is your age, or like what is your favorite color, something like that. Okay, so for that we have used a something prompts kind of something yesterday. So for that I'm going to create a var color. Okay, color equals to prompt prompt okay, I have misspelled the prompt. Okay, prompt, and here I can type enter your color. Let's just save this. So as you can see, we are getting this prompt here. Just by this line of code, we are getting, okay, we are getting this prompt here. This is basically the prompt. We could have used the input tag also, but we are going to use that also. Now, if I type something here, and let me just console.log color here. Okay, so we are getting the input from the user, and now after that, we are console logging at that. Okay, and if I go over here and type something, so let me just open the console panel, and if I type red and press OK, and let me just save this thing. Okay, so we are getting output of red here. Now let me just show you an example. So let's just go over here, and let's just give this thing a styling. First of all, we have to give this styling style h1. Let's just give it a height of 100 pixels and a width of 100 pixels. Okay, and let's just give it a background color of red. So here we have a h1 tag, okay, and its height and width is of 100 pixels. So here I've created an inline statement. Now we are going to take the input from the user, and then we are going to change the style of this box. So as I told you, how to grab the element, all you have to do, type, just first of all create a variable var, and let me just make a box, document dot get element by id, and inside this type the id of that particular tag. So the id is changed for now, change. Okay, why it's changed? Because as you can see, I have given this h1 tag id of change. So here I've given change. Now after that we can change the styling of that thing. So all we have to do, like box dot style, which is equals to dot background color. Okay, so by this I am changing the background color. So box, okay, box, this particular box dot style. dot background color. If you want to change something else, you could have type here like box dot background color, or like color or text alignment. You could use anything. So we want to change the background color. So we are typing background color equals to the color, and which color? This variable color. Okay, this color. So the color value that we are getting from the user. Okay, let's try this thing now. If I save this, okay. If I save this and I refresh it, if I type blue here and if I press OK, so as you can see, the box color is changed to blue. So I just wanted to give an example, like how we are making this is called the user interactivity. Depending on the user input, we are doing something on the screen. So this is called basically we are creating some kind of user interaction. It was not possible previously, just if you are just using CSS, it was not possible with that. But by using JavaScript, it's easier for us to do, and maybe it's easier possible to do with CSS also, but not with such power. Okay. Now, if you okay, so I have shown you each and everything that we are going to like learn. So now let's do something more fundamental. So let me just create make a very small calculator. Let's just make a very small calculator. For that, let's just create two variables, the num, and let's just give it a value of 10, and where num2 of like 3. Now we can just do some kind of multiplication or something like that. So here I'm adding the things. For adding, all you have to do is create a new variable result and make it equal to num plus num2. As you can see, it's very easy to understand by just looking into it. And we have multiple operators for that. We have multiplication, division, and a lot of these operators. Then we have, so now we can get the input from the user, and we could have just shown the output to the user. So this is the one use case. And also for that, but it's not feasible to do this. Okay, what if we want to do this thing repeatedly again and again? For that purpose, we have something called functions. So functions are like a small block of code, and we could use that block of code again and again. So these things are called functions. So let's just create a function. To create a function, just type function. Okay, and you have to name that particular function. So for now, I'm just naming this function sum. Okay, and after that, use these two curly braces and these basically these simple braces, and after that these curly braces. Now inside this curly braces, you can type a particular line of code. Okay, I'm just typing console.log. I will add the numbers. Okay, just by creating a function, basically nothing is gonna happen. So if I open my console log here, so as you can see, we are getting nothing in the output. So here we have created a function. For that, we have used this particular keyword function, and it is the name of a function, name of that function. And this is the basically syntax, the rule how to define a function. Basic syntax are just like rules. So this is the particular rule how to define a function. Now we have to call this function. If you want to execute this line of code, we have to call this function. So if I type sum and this curly braces, this line of code will be executed, and here we are getting output of I will add the number. And you can call a function as much as time you want. So if I'm typing this line of code, this I'm just calling sum 4 times, and if I save this, we are getting output of sum 4 times. So as we can see here, we are getting output, the same output 4 times. Okay, so if I just type this one time, if I just type this one time, we are getting output one time. If I just type this thing 2 times, we are getting the output 2 times. Just try to focus here. And if I type this thing 3 times, we are getting output 3 times, and that's all. So basically, it's Firefox console log. So if the output is same, so it just increase this particular number instead of showing output in a new line. It will just increase this number here. Okay, because the output is same. I will add the number. So in the if we have called this sum function, so this line of code is executing. So that's how we are getting this output. Now we can use this power to do a lot of things. So this function can also accept some kind of values. Like we can pass some kind of values here. So if I pass 2, 5 here, and we can grab this value inside of this function, inside the function declaration. So it is called the function declaration, and we can get his value here. So for that, just type num, or you can type x and y. Okay. So this two value will be equals to x, and this 5 will be equals to y. And now we can do something, anything with this. So if I just console, just give me a second, where result equals to x plus y. Okay. So, and we can console.log this thing result. And if I save this, we are getting output of 7. So bear with me, I will explain you what is happening here. So we can pass, it is called calling of function. So we are calling the function here, and here we have defined the function. Okay. And this thing is called parameters. Basically, this thing is called parameters. So while calling the function, you can pass some kind of values, and while defining the function, we have to make some kind of placeholder where we are going to save those values. And as we can see, I have created two variables x and y here, and now this x is going to be equals to 2 and this y is going to be equals to 5. And now after that, we can use this x and y to do a lot of things. Okay. And we can call a function by different values. So now I'm going to call this thing by different values. And this thing, as you can see in the output, I've called this function 2 times with different values. And that's why we are getting two different outputs. So we have created a function that is going to add for us. So all I have to do is to just call this function sum and pass something here. So if I just try to pass this random number, and we are going to get this output. So this is the whole concept of functions. Okay. So this is whole about functions. So okay, do let me know in the chat if you understood about the functions. By the way, it's all about function. We have more stuff behind this thing, but as I told you, it's so much for our 3 days of course. Okay. Okay. I'm okay, Pioneer. I am using an extension called GitHub Copilot. So that's giving me some those suggestions. Okay. Okay, that's great if you understood. Okay, what is the name again? Pioneer boy. Okay. Extension is GitHub Copilot. How to use written? Okay, Utpal, I will tell you how to use the written keyword. Okay, so this is all about function, but one small thing is missing here. A function can return a value. Okay. Once for get element by ID. Yeah, sure, Neeraj. I'm gonna explain that part again. Okay, Sheetal, the difference between JavaScript is like TypeScript is a basically what we can say is a superset for JavaScript. So TypeScript is same as JavaScript with some little more power. Okay, that's all. And if you know about JavaScript, it's very easy to understand TypeScript. Both are moreover same. And TypeScript is, I think, created by Microsoft. So okay. Yeah, sure. You can use the class also. So I will give you an example of classes in tomorrow's lecture. But if time allows, I'm going to explain the by classes also. So here we have a function, and we can also return some kind of values. So a function can also return values. Bear with me. I'm going to show you an example. So all you have to type return here, and return. It can return anything. So if I return 100, okay. If I have written 100 here, so for that, let's just create a new function. Okay, from the beginning. I'm going to create a function. Okay, I think I have misspelled it. Function ABC. Okay, here we have a function, and this function is going to return. So this function is going to console.log first, console.log hello. I am a function. Okay, and this function is returning some kind of value. So if I return 100 here, okay, so if I call this function ABC, if I just call this function, I'm getting an output of I am a function. But there is a catch. This function is no more a simple function. it's also returning some values. And if this thing is returning some values, so we have to store this thing somewhere. And as I told you, to store any kind of value, we have variables. So let's just store this the value in a variable. So variable x is equals to abc. Variable x equals to abc. Now what is going to happen? This abc function, as soon as this abc function is called, it executed, and it also returned a value, and the value is 100. Now this x variable store a value of 100, and I will show you the example. Okay, so if I just give me an, where is my pen? Okay, so if I type console.log x here, we will see output of 100 here also. So, and we can return anything. So if I type 124, we are getting 102, 1204. So this is what all about functions. Okay, and we could have also passed some kind of variables. So if I pass 2 here, and we have to grab this value inside the function. So I'm just getting a pair and p. Okay, so I'm here, this p value is going to equals to 2. Now I can console log this p also. So p, okay, so now it's going to console log this 2 and this 1024 also, 1204 also. So this is all our functions. So we have understood about the variables, those if else statement, also a little bit about manipulating the HTML document, and also about something about functions. Okay, so let me just give you a quick recap, so that as we are going to move forward, you just because I know it's very easy, very hard to understand these things in first glimpse. So I'm just going to give you a quick recap. So as in the chat, people were asking how to grab this thing. So I'm just gonna show that part also. Okay, selectors console. Okay, so these thing, as you can see, console.log is a function. So these are the some of the predefined functions. So JavaScript provides us with some predefined function by which it helps us to create programs. So some of the predefined functions are console.log, then we have alert, then we have prompt. So these three are some of the predefined functions. We have a bunch of predefined functions, and we can use these functions. So as you can see, this prompt is looking same as a function, because if we have created a function like a function call me, okay, console.log hello. Okay, so here I have created a function, and how we used to call a function, we used to type the name of the function, and after that we used to use these curly braces, these simple brackets basically. So as you can see, these two things are looking exactly same. Basically, instead of just the difference is name, but the syntax is almost similar, because prompt is a function that JavaScript provides us, and by which we can perform some of the basic tasks. So prompt is a function that is used to grab which is used to take input from the user. We have multiple ways to get the input from the user, but it's one of the basic ways to get the input. Okay. Okay. So class critic channel, I think I'm just going to give an example how to get take the input from the user. All you have to type prompt here. Okay. So prompt is a function. Prompt is a function. Inside this bracket, we have to type a message. Anything you can type, enter value. Okay. And as soon as you type this thing, we are going to get a pop-up like thing. So in your browser, like enter a value. And as the user is going to enter this thing, this function is going to return that typed value. As I just told you. Okay. And we have to save this value somewhere. So we are going to use a variable for that. So the value is going to equals to prompt enter a value. Now we can output this thing console.log value. Okay, and we could have also used that grabbing of HTML document. So if I refresh this thing, here we are getting a prompt enter a value, and I have typed hello here, and if I press OK, we are going to get the output of hello here. Okay, so this was all our functions and getting the values from the user. And also now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this h1 tag again by id. So if you just create this div tag, let's just create a div tag. So I have created a division tag, and inside the styling, I'm doing this div here also. So I've created a div tag. Uh, okay. So here we have a box. So refresh this, and let me just save this thing. Okay. So why we are getting this animation thing? My browser is 5500. Okay. So here we have a red box. Okay, that's all we have in our HTML document. Now grab this thing. Okay, to grab this thing, all we have to type document dot get element by id. So again, this is also a predefined function that JavaScript provides us. So behind, by the way, all these functions have a deep meaning, as I told you. But as of now, this is enough. And this get by element by id, all you have to type the name of id of that particular tag that you want to grab. So here the id is box. I want to grab the box. So just type the name of that id inside this brackets. That's all. And now we can save this thing. We have to save each and everything. Okay. So I am gonna save this thing in a variable box. Now this is all about grabbing a document element. Okay. And we can change the styling or the text content. To change the text content, all you have to type that this element dot text content equals to some anything that you want to make it. So if I save it, and as you can see, we are getting hello world inside of this particular box. Okay. So that was all about grabbing. Uh, Very basically, we have just, and also you could have also used the class name also. So if I just give it a class of box, so we have a different function for that. Get element by class name, and inside this, basically inside this bracket, you have to type the class name. That's all. Okay, so we have by id or the class name, but I feel like id is a better way to select something because ids are mostly unique. Okay, if we have multiple box divisions with the same class, so because class name can be same for multiple elements, that's why getting element by id is a better way to grab the things. Okay, so that's why I use that get element by id, not the get element by class name. Okay, so do let me know in the chat if you understood till now. Okay, we can use, yes, a function is just like a simple JavaScript code written inside a block. That's all. And that particular line of code you are going to call. Okay, so it's like something that you have power to call. So you can write whole JavaScript inside a function. What is the difference between a div and section? Basically, division is block element and the section is inline element. So that's the difference. For the Priyanshu, I've given you the answer. If we have two divisions, these divisions are gonna take into different lines. So as you can see, so this box are taking separate lines. If these were the sections, then they were in the same line. Okay, so they will be in the same line. That's the difference between division and section. Okay, let me just close this. Yes, switch is also used in JavaScript again. Okay, so Chitra, what you want me to repeat? Just mention that also. Yes, we could have used switch also. I'm just gonna give you an example of switch also. Okay. How JavaScript is useful in backend? For the backend purpose, we have something called uh, Node.js. So inside that we are gonna use the JavaScript. So backend is a completely different part. Okay. So, okay, for the Tanu, I'm gonna explain the inner HTML. Okay. So inner HTML is a thing. So just first of all, let's just grab this box element. So I have grabbed this box and let's just change its background color. It's not looking so pleasing. So let me just change the color and let's get a color from the internet. So let's just let's go with this color. Okay, this color is looking good. So let me just change the background color. Okay, hopefully it's gonna look nice now. So okay. So we have this purplish box, and we have grabbed this box by ID. Now we can change. We can also type whole HTML inside of a JavaScript. So if you want, it's very easy to do. Just grab the element. Okay, just grab the element first of all. Okay, and just type box.innerHTML equals to. Now you can type, basically you can type the HTML inside of it. So how it's easy to do. Just type, use this bracket, these quotes, and here I can type h1 slash h1 hello. And if I save this, we are getting this hello inside of it. So I know you're feeling like we could have also used box.inner text content. Okay, we could have also used this thing. So these two things are doing the exactly same thing. Okay, not exactly same thing. This thing is setting the inner text content. So by this line of code, you can also write HTML inside an element. So it's same as basically this line is same as if you have typed this thing inside here. Okay, so this is same as that. So it is equals to this thing. Okay, so you can also create a HTML inside your JavaScript. Okay, yes, you can make a stopwatch, you can make a whole servers, you can make a use of AI also, you can make use of some online services, you can make a Facebook basically. So everything that you see on internet uses JavaScript. For Java backend Spring Boot, I am asking, sir. For the Java, yes. For the if you are using Java, you can use Spring Boot. But personally, I feel like nowadays you have to just go with Java or Python if you want, or go with a Go if you want to go in backend part. Personally, I feel like no, JavaScript is a very good thing. Okay, difference between text content and inner HTML. Inner HTML is used to create whole HTML document inside that. So if you want to make multiple HTML text, H2, H3 basically here, H3 world, and I could have also created a div here, again a separate div here, div, and okay, so this is used. Okay, inner HTML is used to basically is to used to uh, make give it a whole HTML. On the other hand, the text content can only insert something text related. So I could have also only typed this thing. I am single. Okay, so text content is only useful if you want to insert something that is related to text inside a element. Okay, and if you want to insert whole HTML, so in that case, you have to use inner HTML. Okay. Yes, you could have used write ln also. So yes, Shrutika, we have a lot of functions for that. If by which you can change the yes DOM basically. Okay, MD Nawab. Basically, you are talking about document object model. So JavaScript. I'm asking a question in the chat. MD Nawab asked that about the DOM. So DOM actually, basically, our JavaScript, our whole JavaScript has access to this HTML page. So this whole HTML page, and in a nutshell, this HTML page is called DOM. Okay, in a nutshell. So that is DOM is. So we have an object called this document. So this document refers to the DOM for now. Okay. How to hit a API? Okay, Azhar, hitting an API may take more than 3 days. Tell us about function declaration. So, okay, I'm just going to tell you about the function declaration. But before that, as you can see, we are getting, if I have used this inner HTML, we are getting this output. We are getting hello world, and after that, I have created a division. That's why we are getting this division, and inside this division, I have OK here. So I think, yes, sure. Naveen Patel, you can use MySQL, SQL, anything of your liking. Can we? Which RTB is most used? Element by class query selector. Basically, query selector is mostly used, but I have seen people using the element by ID. It completely depends on you. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you about the function declaration. So to declare a function, as I told you, just type function and the name of the function. So show my name. Okay. So I'm creating a function, show my name. Okay. And inside this, you have to give the name as the parameter, and we are gonna grab that box. Okay. So where box equals to document dot get element by ID box, and now box dot inner HTML box dot inner HTML h1 h1. Okay, let's just go with the inner text content. Okay, for now, because inner HTML is gonna be a little bit hard for us. Text content equals to name. So now I'm gonna call this function show my name, and if I type Sanjay here, we are going to get this output. So we are inside this function, we are grabbing that box and we are changing its inner text content to the parameter that was passed when the function was called. So this is called the calling of function, and this is called function declaration. Okay. No, no. What is the name? Uttara Kumar. No, camel case is not important, but in the JavaScript world, we mostly use the camel case. In the Python world, we use snake case. For those people who don't know about the camel case, so we have multiple ways of typing a name. So if I have to create a variable like where my name, okay, my name, so we cannot give spaces inside in the variable name. We cannot give the spaces. So if I have just used my name, so it's difficult to read this thing. Okay, my name is difficult to read. So that's why we have multiple ways to write the variable name, and it's not mandatory. You can use anything. So we have a way called camel case, where the first letter of each new word is in capital. So my is in small, and the name is a new word. That's why we have capitalized it. Then we have a snake case, where we use underscore instead of a space. We use underscore because while creating a name of variable, we have some rules, like you cannot use these special symbols. So you cannot use these special symbols while creating a variable, and you cannot start a variable name with a number. So I cannot type zero name. Okay, it's not possible to do. You could end you can use the number inside the variable name at the end or in the between, so that will work, but you cannot start. And for the special symbol, you can use the dollar sign. Okay, this dollar sign is allowed, and the underscore is allowed. So for typing like my name, you could have used underscore or the camel case, where we are capitalizing the first letter of the new word. So this is called the camel case, and it's not necessary. Okay, if you want to know about the API calling, for that we have to understand about the concept of asynchronous JavaScript, and that is beyond the scope of this course. So that's why if you want to know about that course, you can just go to our website, and that is letsupgrade.com. Let's upgrade. Just Google it, and you will find the first link, and here you can go start learning. Okay, and here we'll find our whole all the courses, and here we have full stack web development course. Okay, you can enroll in this, and I will be your instructor if we have a chance. So I can be your instructor, and there we cover JavaScript, HTML, CSS, backend development, front end development, React, CSS, SAS, and a lot of cool stuff. Okay, from in our course we try to cover at least 15 projects, real world projects. Okay, and we keep our pace slow and steady so that you understand each and everything. So go over here and you can enroll to our course, and I guarantee you that you will be get placed after the completion of the course. Okay, so I can assure you that. Okay, so let's cover up a small program, a very small topic. Okay, so we can also uh, add some kind of event listener. And what are these event listeners? So let me just grab this box again. So we are grabbing this box a lot of time. So let's just grab this box again. Document dot get element by id box. Okay, now if users click onto this box, like if user click on this box, I want something to happen. I want something to happen if user click over this box. So for that, we can set up an event listener. And what are these event listeners? Event listeners are nothing. As you can see, we have an event. So event can be click, mouse move, keyboard typing on anything that user can perform. So we have event, and okay. So we are going to listen for this event. So we have to set up an event listener. And as hard it sounds, it's easy to do. All you have to do is to grab the element on which you want to listen. Okay, on which you want to listen for the event. So just type box dot add event listener. That's all. Box dot add event listener. That's all. And inside here, type the name of event. So we have a bunch of events, but for now we are going with click. Okay. So if the user, okay, so here we are adding a event listener on the box, okay, on this particular purple box. And what something that you want to do if user click onto this box, you have to mention in the second parameter. So we can have as much as parameter as you want. So for that, let me just create a function, okay, function hello, okay. Inside the function, I am just doing alert hello, okay, hello JS. So in the second parameter, just type the name of the function. Okay. So here we have created a function hello, and in this line, we have grabbed that particular box, and in this particular line, we are setting up an event listener on the box. Okay, on the box, and the event is click. The event is click, and what we want to do if the user click on this box, so we have defined here. Okay, so all you have to type mention the name of the function here, and that's all. That's all. We have set up the event listener. If I click over this box, we are getting this hello. Okay, so I'm clicking over this box, and as much as time I'm gonna click over this box, I'm getting this console, this alert. Okay, this function is going to be executed. So this is basically the event listeners. Okay, this is called the event listeners. So just let me know in the chat if you understood about the event listener. So that's all about the event listener. All you have to do first, just grab the thing that for which you want to set up an event listener, and after that, just type the element name here and dot add event listener, and after that, just type the name of that event. Then we have key down and a lot of events, but for now we are going with click event, and just type comma here, and after the comma, name a function. Okay, just create a function and pass the name here, like what you want to do if user click over this box. So this is called setting up an event listener. Okay, so we could have also listened for the buttons and all. So that's all. So let me just create an input field here. Okay, so let me just create an input field, input. Okay, and let me just give it an id of let's just give it an id of or what we say user. Okay, id of user. So we have an input field and id of user, and if we go over here, so we have an input field here. Okay, so how to get the value of the input field uh, inside the JavaScript? Okay, so we are going to do that by using that event listener. We can perform that also. Just do let me in the chat if you understood about that event listener part. Okay, anyone please suggest me where to read web development free of cost? Okay, you can just go on the that W3 schools. Okay, I'm gonna suggest you that. Any list of events? Yes, yes, we have a list of events, but okay, Uttara Kumar, don't try to memorize each and everything. Personally, I'm telling this to you. Just start doing things and look for the thing that you want to do. Like just suppose you have a project where you want to know what key is pressed. Okay, so for that, just look for that key down event. Okay, so if you're just going to try to remember each and every event, so we have a bunch of events, so it's not possible to remember each and everything. Okay, for the DOM. I'm gonna explain the DOM part tomorrow in a very explained manner. Okay. Okay, Tanu, the new keyword and the this keyword are a very we have a advanced courses, advanced JavaScript essential coming by 9. So you can join that if you want to know about the new keyword and the this keyword. Okay. Okay, Puniri boy, to be perfect in JavaScript and in anything in general, you have to do a lot of practice and be just persistent. Okay, be persistent, or you can join our course. Okay, for in that case, I will help you. Our team will help you to grow. Okay, so now we have an input field here. Okay, I have just created an input field. Now just grab this input field. Let me just grab the input field. Okay. So for that, I'm just going to type document dot get element by ID, and the ID of this input field is user. Okay, it's user. Now you can just type user dot add event listener, and then we have change here. Okay, so change is again event listener. So first of all, let me just console log it to you. Okay. If we just console log this thing, that document.get element by ID, we stored this thing is in a variable, and we can also console log it. So if I just console log the user, and you can see, if we go over here, as you can see, we are grabbing this particular as input field. Okay, so I just want to tell you that you can grab each and everything. So I think that's enough for today. So we have created a small very small project where we have got the input from the user, and then we change the color of the box. By tomorrow we are going to learn about DOM, a little bit more about DOM, and by using if, okay, the functions, we are going to make a cool project where we are going to play a game. So in that game you have to guess the number, and if the number is correct, we will show the output, and we are going to also change the styling of the page. It's going to be a very great project to do. So just stay with me, and I will see you tomorrow for that. Okay, yes, this course is free. Okay. Okay, so course. Okay, for the logical part, okay, I think your question is, okay, Ibbas Khan, if you're trying to make your logical skills better, okay, for that, basically you need a guidance. So basically that, because building a logic needs a good teacher, basically, because logic is not a thing that you can just learn from books, or learn from you can learn from articles, because logic is a kind of real life thing. Okay, so you can learn JavaScript from books and from anywhere, but the practical knowledge, the knowledge that will land you a job, for that you need basically a institute, or in general a person who can teach you these real world things, because nobody is going to pay you lakhs of rupees if you just know how to type JavaScript, or in any other language. In that case, they are going to pay you for the problem solving skills, the practical skills, the how you are going to use the JavaScript for their requirements. So that's the thing that matters. So that makes the difference between a free course and a professional course. Okay, but as of now, just stay focused, just keep trying and keep learning. I will see you tomorrow, and we are gonna make a great project by tomorrow. Okay, so bye bye.